Alright, good morning, everybody. My name is Jonas Connor, and this is my first video for my YouTube channel. And I want to do kind of a free-form discussion of the poem Belle Sans Merci by John Keats today. Now, for anyone who's new to my channel, which should be everybody because, like I said, this is my first video. I mean, unless, of course, you're watching in retrospect, but never mind. So, with this channel, I kind of want to do freeform discussions of various projects in music and art and literature and philosophy, and kind of do freeform discussions of them. And by that, I mean, let's kind of do it like rock and roll way. Like, leave all the mistakes in. Like, I'm always inspired by The Strokes for their first album, Is This It? In 2001, the musical band The Strokes. Julian Casablancas, the lead vocalist and main songwriter for the band, he pretty much said that they wanted to leave all the mistakes in, all the mess ups. So I kind of want to do that with this. I love The Strokes, and yeah, you might as well take some inspiration from someone. Anyway, this is La Belle Sans Merci by John Keats. I'm going to read it first, and then we're going to do a discussion kind of line by line from it. I'm reading from the Best Poems of the English Language by Harold Bloom, the late, great Harold Bloom. Amazing critic and curator of amazing literature. I can't believe I said amazing twice. That's one thing you'll find about me. I hate using the same word twice and in succession, too close together. It feels wrong. Fellow YouTuber, what is his name? Benjamin McAvoy. I believe that's his name. He says that a lot of his favorite poets and prose writers seem to follow a sort of musicality. At least that's the impression I get from when I watch his videos. And I kind of noticed that too. I like musicality in literature. I like just things sounding right, you know? That's part of what I love about poetry so much. Anyway, let's actually get to the poem. So, La Belle Sans Merci. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? The sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woe begone? The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose, fast withereth too. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, in fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet moan. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy song. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manna dew. In sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. She took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore. And there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses for. And she there lulled me asleep, and there I dreamed, ah, woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamed, on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La Belle Sans Merci, hath thee in thrall. I saw their starved lips in the gloam, with horrid warning gaped wide. And I awoke and found me there, on the cold hillside. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. God, I love that last line, and no birds sing. There are so many great quotables in this poem. Keats was on something else when he wrote this. Okay, Keats, this guy. Oh my God! All right, let's take this line by line. First, the title, La Belle Dame Sans Merci. Now I should just look up the French translation, because I am very bad at French. I took 1 year many years ago, and I've forgotten most of it. But I do believe it means the beautiful girl without thanks. Sans I believe means without, something like that. Oh, what can ail thee, knight in arms? So, what can bother you, knight at arms? Alone and palely loitering. Um, yeah. So this knight is just chilling on his own. He's alone. He's palely loitering. Um, I love that recurring theme of the pale color, or I guess lack thereof, color. When referring to pale, it's a great emotive adjective. Um, so what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? What can bother you? You're alone. Um, the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Now, the sedge, I'm actually a little unfamiliar with that word, I'll be honest, so let's look it up. What does sedge mean? Okay, so the sedge is a plant. So the sedge is withered from the lake and no birds sing. So basically, the plants near the lake, they're dying, much like we will be soon. And no birds sing. I mean, what is one of the most beautiful things in all of human existence for all of humans, and that's the sound of birds. I mean, I know we're talking very speculatively when we talk about this, but even think about it from like an evolutionary perspective, perhaps. Like maybe, like think about it. Birds sing around where it's tranquil, where there might be food. Birds sing in the trees. Food grows in the trees, and usually when the birds are singing, it's pretty tranquil. The birds go away when big predators come by, so it's just like when no birds sing, that's like a sign that things have changed, that there is maybe some foreboding, um, such as the passage of time, I guess. I mean, with change, brings possible, future ailments. Um, Jordan Peterson, I know people have their thing with Jordan Peterson, but he does bring up that there are more ways for things to go wrong than for things to go right. So just even the passage of time can be very foreboding, just because the likelihood that, things are going to go wrong in all of our lives, you, me, everybody, it will happen, but and that's why he does say, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woe begone? So kind of the same thing. Haggard, he's I mean, what do you say for haggard? He's he's worn down, and he's woe begone. Um, the squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest done. Um, Basically more of that. What had to be done is done. Things have passed. Things have changed. Just more so, I guess, testaments to that. I see a lily on thy brow with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. So in the previous lines, he had talked about, um, the outside changing, outside the body, seeing the world around you changing. And on this one, I mean, I guess the speaker is commenting to a person, but the idea is that the change is now in the body. A lily on thy brow with anguish moist and fever dew. He's not actually meaning a lily on your brow. It's a metaphor basically. And on thy cheeks a fading rose. There's not actually a rose that's fading on people's cheeks. It's just it's a point that the color is fading. The glow of a person is kind of withering away. Because with life is death, to live is to die. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Give me one second. I apologize about that. Sorry. So anyway, I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. Basically that means, yeah, you meet a girl who really gets you going. A fairy's child, just further showing that this girl is special, that she captures the attention of anybody around her. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes are wild. Just more, commenting on the apparently effervescent nature of this, picked out woman, I guess. I assume it's a woman. Yeah, her hair was long, her foot was, what I'm saying. I made a garland for her head and bracelets too in fragrant zone. I don't know why. I really like that phrase, fragrant zone. Like I get it. It's refers to smell and the vicinity of that smell, but it's just nice. I don't know. It's one of the things I love about poetry is little phrases like fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love and made sweet moan. Now, do I really have to explain this part? They had sex. They fucked. And she made sweet moan. John Keats, you dirty dog. You dirty dog. um. Anyway, I set her on my pacing steed. Yeah, do I need to explain that part either? And nothing else all day long. For sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy song. Yeah, a fairy song. You know that thing that those girls are singing in the movies when your parents just randomly walk downstairs and catch you, you're watching a sex scene in the movie, and that's the only time where your parents will show up. Your dad will be like, "What the fuck?" Well, actually, your dad will probably fucking clap his hands like, ah. Your mom will be like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Or whatever. Moms aren't going to swear that liberally. Generally, sometimes they will. Actually, moms swear a lot at kids, and I get it. I work at I work at a grocery store. I just do I load up cars and whatnot, and I can see why mothers get frustrated with kids. Kids can be a lot of work, but they're so cute, I don't know. It's very endearing and funny and really just I don't know. It's a funny part of the human condition. Anyway, let's move on. She found me roots. God, my voice. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manna dew, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. I mean, that's just nice. It's, they had the sex, they banged, and now, they're probably just fucking, they're probably just laying in bed or something, and honey wild manna dew, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. Actually, with the language strange, maybe they are still making love, and that's, her moans are saying, I love thee true. Maybe it could be that. I don't know. She took me to her elfin grot. Now, I do not know what elfin grot means. Let me look that up. Elfin grot. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's just an old way of saying like elven, like an elven cave. Like you know, where I'm trying to find the good word for it. Her home, basically. Because we had compared her to an elf earlier, to a fairy, to all these delicate, but when you actually look up the origins of these creatures, they're not just like dainty delicate things. They, especially fairies, the way that fairies used to be characterized was they were nice, they were sweet, but they were also dangerous if you got on their bad side. And I think that's a good thing for women, because women are sweet and women are lovely, but women are also powerful. Um, and, that power should be respected. Um, just as they do in a way for men, It, look, I'm not trying to solve especially me. Who am I to solve the differences between gender, something that goes back well, before humans, the dichotomy of the feminine and the masculine. But I do believe that both the masculine and the feminine should respect each other. Both have their different powers and weaknesses. Um, anyway, with all that said, she took me to her elfin grot. Her domicile. I'm trying to think of the word. There's a word on the tip of my tongue that's a synonym for home. I don't want to use the wrong word, especially on my first video. This is already such an interesting video. I'll say it's a good thing it's my first. I'll probably be much better at this as I go on. Anyway, and there she wept and sighed full sore, and there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses for, just comforting her. Um, and there she wept and sighed full sore. I do wonder why he says that. Now she's sad, I guess. But he comforts her. Maybe it's just moodiness. I don't know. And there she lulled me asleep, and there I dreamed. Ah, woe betide. The latest dream I ever dreamed on the cold hillside. And this is where Keats' genius, like, it was already a great poem. The part about the lily on thy brow, and the on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. That is already some of my favorite imagery in all of poetry I've ever seen. But now, this is what really separates, the boys from the men. The the master slave dialect. No, that's not a good, especially with how problematic um the the slave term is. You know what I'm trying to say. This is why John Keats is still talked about today. I believe is it was all a dream. he awakes on the cold hillside. Do you think the maiden fairy is there? No. He thought he was in her elfin grot. In, her elf cave. No, he is he is on the cold hillside. Now, think about it. Think about what that actually means. Have you ever just been so lost in, not, I guess, a dream, but um something that made you happy and something that gave you life and gave you meaning, and then for some reason, some experience made you realize that was either all not true, all not real. Basically, you find out that what you thought was true was actually a lie, and it's very much a cliche. There's some to there's an allegorical application for this for pretty much everybody. I think everybody can relate to waking up on the cold hillside from a beautiful dream. Um, when I had first read this poem, that part just, it still sends chills down my spine when I get to it, because I almost forget it. I get wrapped up in this beautiful imagery of this woman and the passage of time, and you think that is what is most poignant, what most brings just a kind of somber tone to this, but then you get to the part where he realizes it was all a dream, and he wakes up on the cold hillside. I don't know, just an image appears in my head, just this knight in full armor, yeah, on a cold hillside. It's gray. Um, it's a drizzly November of the soul, and clouds are everywhere, and it's just this lonely warrior, with nothing around him but I guess bent grass pulled by the wind. Um, enough of me self-inserting my bullshit into John Keats' poem. John Keats doesn't need me to to improve his poem. John Keats stands, this poem stands for itself. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. More with those the pale characterization. And again, I really like it. It brings to mind, the pale horse, of course, the biblical thing, where the pale horse brings death and hell follows with it. And I do wonder how much that is influenced here. In fact, I'm so excited to read David Foster Wallace's The Pale King, just because I don't know. I feel like the color carries a lot of weight with it, and people use pale very deliberately when you could easily use other words, but no, they specifically choose pale, and I do wonder the reasons for that, and I'm just more I'm very interested in seeing how that's actually shaped throughout our culture. Anyway, they cried La Belle Dame sans Merci hath thee in thrall. The beautiful woman without mercy has thee in thrall, you in thrall. Now, what is the La Belle Dame sans Merci? Is that the woman who appears in the dream and then goes away? The beautiful woman without thanks? Maybe. Certainly has him in thrall. Or maybe that's just me, projecting onto him. Because I would imagine if I woke up on the cold hillside after dreaming of... Again, we don't even know if it's a literal dream. Is this... Because it sounds like he had lived a full life in that dream. it's very it almost comments on the nature of reality itself. The whole cliche, oh, life is but a dream. But why do we say that? It's because life might be in a similar way to a dream, or, maybe we don't understand it fully, but like, in The Tempest by Shakespeare, I believe it's Prospero who says, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little lives are rounded and asleep. And it's just amazing how often this idea of life being a dream recurs and recurs, like a reoccurring dream, throughout human history, and especially in human dialect, the human dialectic and human thought, um, and just the things we read, say, and talk about. Um, I saw their starved lips in the gloam with horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me there on the cold hillside. So it's like a dream within a dream with that one. Um, I guess I was wrong earlier when I said he was completely alone on the cold hillside. I guess he was watching the Pale Kings and Princes too. But that was already after he woke from the one dream, and now he's waking from that dream as well. It's just layers upon layers upon layers. Turtles all the way down, man. Turtles all the way down. Um, and this is why I sojourn here. This is why I speak the truth here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. I don't know what I can really add more to this, and this is why I sojourn here. This is why I tell the truth here, even alone, and I guess palely loitering. What is pale? It's like an absence of color, and then what is color? What is color metaphorically? It's almost like life, and pale. Like you said, the pale horse, and death follows with it. The lack of life, lack of color. Palely loitering. You know, just hanging out, kind of, almost feeling like death, I guess. Though the sedge is withered from the lake and no birds sing. Just like the cheek on sorry, the fading rose on the cheek. That withering, just like the sedge from the lake. Maybe that is its own uh fading rose. It's just a beautiful poem. And no birds sing. What a line to end on. And I guess with that, we'll end this one too. We're clocking in nearly 30 minutes for my first video ever. For YouTube. We're already almost at the 30-minute mark, but I really wanted to take some time with this poem because it's fantastic, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please click like and subscribe for more content. There will be much more content coming out. I'm going to talk a lot about art, a lot about music, a lot about, of course, literature, like I'm doing right now. Basically about just anything that, I love entertainment, I love art, I love expression, I love ideas. And that's kind of what I want to talk about here. I want to do law-informed discussions, because that's what I like. I love things getting delved into. I love uh, commentators, kind of going at a free form and being willing to admit when they're wrong, when they don't know something, look up, and, it kind of be a learning process for everybody at the same time. I should probably be closer to the mic so you guys can hear me. But we're already at, 29 minutes. So, again, click like, subscribe. Thank you guys all. This is Jonas Connor. Thank you.